So my name is Beata Denton. I'm an architect and lighting designer. I work at Reflex Arkitekter in Stockholm in Sweden. I'm an architect by training, so I studied in Stockholm and in London, and then I worked quite a short while with architecture. Then I got into interior design, so I've been doing offices mainly for like big brands, Red Bull, Skype, Microsoft, TUI, and like 15 years ago I started to do lighting within those projects. So in the studio we did the layouts and the interiors and the lighting all in one. So I got into lighting by total chance. I had done some logotype in three-dimensional logotype, and I needed a spotlight for it. So I went to a supplier, and he said, "Oh yeah, you can have the spotlight, but you can also do this and that, and make shadows, and have color wheels and changing and all this." And it's funny enough, but that got me hooked. I thought it was, can I do this much? Can I develop this much with this for this design? So since then, I introduced lighting into all the projects, and I quickly started doing larger projects, working with super skilled consultants, and so they taught me, and I've just been asking a lot of questions all the time. The main part, or I've done two parts mainly. One is office design for big brands. And my background is also within, I studied film, so I'm always very interested in the narrative of any project. So it's not just lighting, but we want to tell the story and integrate it with the whole concept, the design concept. So an office design isn't like just office space these days. It's almost as much hospitality. Most offices have like lounge areas, they have game rooms, they have cafes, restaurants, can have a gym, roof terraces, anything you can think of. And so it's great to do that. It's interesting because it affects people so much. They spend the whole day there, and they need all these different kinds of environments throughout the day to enjoy their work, to enjoy their colleagues and so on. So I find those projects interesting. Well, it gives life to the whole project, I think. And our clients have hardly ever asked for lighting design in their projects. But we have suggested it and inspired them and told them how all these color schemes, the well thought out plans, and how the space will work and all this, they put so much time and effort into that. And we say it can fall flat without the lighting. You need to have the diversity and make all these spaces come to life and do what they were intended to do. Colors, textures, all this comes through with the right lighting. And also it's a question of well-being, of course. That's what we tell our clients, that I mean, having a flat mat of 300 lights throughout the day is like a weight on your shoulders. You get really tired. So you have to have the diversity, and I haven't really worked with a so-called human-centric when you set the light levels according to the time of the day, but I think it's very important that you can choose your kind of space which is right for the task and your sleep train or awake train or what have you. We struggle so much with the designer lights, design fittings, because they have so many different protocols, and you come into a building that have only Dali, for instance, and it never works. You can only switch them on or off these nice fittings that we want to integrate in the project. So we're quite happy now when these Bluetooth possibilities and wireless things are coming, so I'm quite interested to see what that can bring. Well, something I would like to do is actually to if I didn't have to think about getting a salary, I would like to be an intern with stage lighting. I would love to do stage lighting, event lighting. A lot of people start from that end and go into lighting design, but I guess I come from the other way, and I would love to do that. I would maybe say that I'm most proud of the first large project that I took on basically by myself, and that was Skype's headquarters here in Stockholm. And I can't believe now that I did it, but I did a very playful design, and I was also working with a concept for the whole interior design. So the scheme got really playful, and we really didn't put any limits to the creativity. And it was very successful. It's won international awards, which I'm proud of course. So that was good. I like that project. I like a lot of my projects, but I'm proud that I dared to take it on and dared to do it so playful. I don't know if I've overcome it, because I'm in it. I'm in the biggest challenge. Setting up this lighting studio, because since I used to be head of the interior design studio for 15 years or so in PS before we merged with Reflex. But since doing only lighting last year in London, now coming back to Sweden and having this opportunity to set up a lighting studio within this office, that is super big challenge and incredibly fun. And for the first time I have 2 lighting designers working with me on my team. So, but that is a big challenge, and it's a double challenge because it needs to be a profitable studio, and I want us to have good, interesting projects. But on a personal level, it's also a challenge because I realize that there are quite a few Excel documents you need to fill in when you run a studio. And I want to do the creative bit. I don't want to lose that, because that's why I started this studio, to do more lighting, not less. So that is a big challenge, to have the balance and be really involved and do the plan layouts and do the testing and all the sourcing of fittings, which I love doing. Influential, I have been thinking about this, and I have to say all the designers, lighting consultants, not all, but most of them, and even suppliers that I have worked with have taught me a lot. So they have all influenced my work. But the head of the previous studio, architect's office that I was in, has meant a lot to me being where I am now, because I had just done one little lighting project and he started to call me an expert. And which was, I had to start to grow with this trust. And he saw that my passion for lighting, and he started to make sure we always got budgets within the projects for lighting, and that was such a great encouragement and support that helped me so much. And if you don't have someone to sort of help with the support and lay the ground, it's quite hard to, but so that was very important for me. It just doesn't stop inspiring me. I really burn for lighting, and I love going to see events and shows and installations, and I read a lot of articles, and at least every time I get a magazine I think I should learn something. So I look at one article in particular and study how did they do this project and so on. And talking about stage lighting, I was watching the other evening a film, Springsteen on Broadway. It's a show that Bruce Springsteen did on Broadway, and I thought the lighting was really nice. And then in the credits at the end I saw it was a woman lighting designer called Natasha Katz. So then I looked her up and googled some interviews and just follow up and look at things. I think it is childhood, that's the answer, upbringing. I think that a lot of women don't feel confident that they are funny enough, entertaining enough, interesting enough to be on stage. I think a lot of women know that they know a lot of good stuff, have done good things, but you have to sort of be a bit entertaining. I think a lot of women feel when you're on a stage. And I think it starts with daycare or school, that some behavior in girls get encouraged, some behavior in boys get encouraged, and they're not the same behaviors. So I think it needs to be an awareness in teachers and in parents. Not to say that this is what girls and boys should do differently, but encourage the individual. First of all, of course, do lighting if you have a passion for it. And don't think that I can't do it or I don't know enough. Just get stuck in and start to learn and ask a lot of questions. And also I think when I studied architecture, I worked 2 summers on building sites, and that was so good. And I think any chance of doing the practical work on site is really good, because you get confident, you know what you're doing, and it's easy for you to communicate with installers on site. You get respect if you have been on site.